We got a winner. I said we got a winner. I said we got a winner. Today, we have a juicy episode about a film from the year 2000 that taught an entire generation to be scared of drugs. And more importantly, Jared Leto. Today on... Oh, came in a little early there. That's okay. We today on... God damn it, no, that's... You know, as you do a podcast in this kind of genre, there's this tendency to kind of want to do the same thing over and over again. There's a formula. I watched this, and these are the people that did it. This is the thing. Here we are going to talk about it. Sometimes, though, there is a movie that kind of its reputation precedes it. It is just, you can say the name of the film, and people just know what you're talking about. A lot of the reputation is deserved. A lot of it, not so much. I think it's sometimes, if you haven't seen it, its name makes you think of a thing that maybe it's not, and I think it's underseen to a degree as a result. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it is a masterpiece. We're talking about Requiem for a Dream today, a movie that I don't know if I've seen anything recently that has aged as well as it has, but we will get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself. First, I want to bring in my co-host, professional ne'er-do-well, also card-carrying member of the club, Becky Franzel. How you doing?
You didn't have to put me on blast like that. I'm a card-carrying member in secret.
Would you like me to censor it?
Redact.
Give it a little...
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
All right.
But I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm so good. I mean, as well as can be expected after watching something like this.
Well, I mean, I feel great compared to everyone's experience in the movie.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it definitely is a little bit life-affirming that way. I hadn't seen it in about 10 years. I would say its impact on me is different, but we will get into that. This was your first time seeing it?
Oh, I've seen it before, but in bits and pieces. Like, everyone's seen a scene or two of Requiem for a Dream, right?
I mean, it's been memed to death, and that's kind of what I was referring to. It's been it's been stripped of context,
right?
Because either you remember the score by Clint Mansell, the wah wah wow wow, or you just it's Jared Leto doing drugs or whatever. Or the Ellen Burstyn scene, but never in full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this was your first time watching it all the way through. And you didn't really have any warning. You didn't even have like a way to prepare, which is kind of the way that it hit the market.
And I'm like the worst person to just put that in front of too, because I hate vein stuff. I hate vein stuff.
Sure.
And he just kept going like, oh, my arm. I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That's like my Saw, right? That's horrifying for me. But.
Well, I mean, like, because what is your immediate, when it's over, just as a film, how does it leave you feeling?
I felt alone for all the characters, right? Because there was such a sense of loneliness. Everyone just parted ways. Like, it was like watching tree branches separate underneath, or tree roots separate underneath the ground, right? Where they're all growing in different directions. Does that make sense? In my head, it makes sense, but I'm not sure if that makes sense.
I think it makes sense. It's
maybe a rotten tree root. But
they were planting seeds without watering them. They weren't caring for them. That's a good time to jump into context here. You know, when people talk about, movies, the best movie ever made, they always talk about 99. And kind of, we don't really talk about separate movies, but whenever like 2000 was a great year because we always focus on 99, turn of the millennium. But some people came roaring out of the gate in 2000, Christopher Nolan with Memento, Soderbergh had some movies beforehand, but he had like 2 masterpieces, Traffic and Aaron Brockovich that year. But Darren Aronofsky like dropped this bomb on people.
And it's a confident movie.
It is so confident, and it is such a like a template, like a legend for what movie making would be for the next decade. It was right in the middle of, we were really starting to talk about drug use and show it on screen in an aggressive manner. That kind of quick cut editing, Trainspotting had happened. Fight Club was elegant, but this thing was like a combination of everything that was big at the time, but it was wielded with such confidence. It's hard for me to talk about it. It's so, every frame is beautiful. Every scene is informative.
But in a twisted way, right? Like in a, like I almost want to say the movie was like the dark side of aspiration, right? Like they all had goals and dreams and visions at the beginning, and it all got twisted because of the rot, right?
Well, yeah, it's an aspirational tale. It's almost like it's the quintessential cautionary tale.
But like with the mom, I don't know how somebody would avoid that during that time when we didn't know that diet pills were so bad, right? Like if the doctor's giving it to you and you're fucking, how is she, like 60s?
Well, I think that's what makes the movie so prophetic. It was,
I mean, maybe I'm infantiling her, but
no. Well, I think that's the saddest thing about growing old, and that's like a way to interpret it, is that there's a real sadness to youth lived too fast, and old age lived far too slow. You know, just like there's a loneliness to escaping either way.
mm-hmm.
There's a loneliness to both sets of existence, because with Jared Leto's character and Jennifer Connelly's character, they love each other, but they love the fix more. Marlon Wayans loves the fix more than he loves his relationship with anyone else, although you could say he's more responsible. I used to see this movie as a drug movie, you know, like again, like the 80s had Just Say No and Scruff McGruff or whatever the fuck his name was. And then like in the 90s you had Jordan that's like, ew, the crack is whack. But the two millennials had Requiem for a Dream as the anti-drug movie, as a companion piece to 99's Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. I think it's like a real you can get a real fun double feature there. But I don't see it as an anti-drug movie anymore. I see it more as like a gratitude movie now.
Or even just an inevitability movie, right? Because like all of the drivers that were happening on a low, it was like the build, it was the crescendo, right? It's like you could see little markers of like, obviously his mother is incredibly lonely, right? And it just took this one thing to set the snowball down the hill, right? And there is a sense of it's not stopping. Like there's no way to stop it, right? It's only going to end bad, and it felt like that for every single one of the characters.
Every one of them, it is again his aspirational tale. Every one of them wanted to be a better person, and they needed some outside force to tell them that.
But there was that driver that just couldn't, like, it doesn't matter how good you are. It almost felt, because we saw good parts of every single one of the characters, right? Like the mom legitimately just wanted her son to do well.
Well,
that was like her biggest dream whenever she'd go into the fantasy of, oh, my son's getting married, right? He's successful. That's all she wanted, right? And all Jared Leto wanted was to help his girlfriend open up the fashion shop, right? That's what their dream was. But there's that sense of inevitability where as soon as it started, you can't stop it.
Everything's a fix for everybody. Like she wants to know that he's doing well because that makes her feel good.
True.
He wants to buy her a TV because it makes him feel good. He wants to help his girlfriend buy the shop because it makes him feel good. Those two, like, it's all about like the numbing of the senses, the desperate grasp for something that's even slightly better. And an inability to turn back when things go too bad.
Well, but I mean, like, an addiction to, like, heroin is, like, a lonely addiction. There's no recipient for that fix, right? Versus, like, getting his mom the TV. Sure, she fucking hated the TV, but it's the thought that counts, right? And it's a gesture of goodwill. And, like, sure, was that fashion shop probably going to fail? Yeah, but, like, everyone has a business in their 20s that fails, but it feels good to have somebody believe in you, right? Versus just throwing it down for a selfish reason is like, that's where it got sad, I think.
Yeah, but she didn't give a shit about the fashion place when he didn't have a fix for her.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, that's the inevitability of it, right?
But like she never it's none of them are any more than the highs that society has allowed them to have.
I suppose, but there's a certain, I don't know, there's a certain rot to the fix of it, right? Like if she didn't get the shop, it's not like she would be screaming at him and doing the same thing as she would like with the heroin fix, right? Like when she was coming down from like not getting it, right? Like there's a rot there.
No, she wouldn't have they wouldn't have known each other without drugs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the thing is like everything is...
Wait, didn't they know each other from high school or something? But I mean, they got together because of drugs.
They got together because of drugs.
Yeah.
They shared drugs together. Their entire existence is based on some kind of fix. Everyone's getting their fix.
But what about his mom?
His mom's fix is the TV. His mom's fix is like the game show.
Right.
Is the fantasy of being on the show and the fantasy of being young again, of fitting into the red dress.
Yeah. But would that exist if she had the relationship with her son? That's clearly the thing. Like, 'cause that's always the driver in all of her fantasies is like introducing her successful son, right?
Well, delusions of grandeur. That's what drives everybody. It's this inability to like understand where you're at is pretty okay, is pretty good. That's what I mean by it. It's why I've seen it more as a parable for gratitude. I think that like one thing that didn't hit me when I was younger. When I first saw it, I was just like, wow, powerhouse cinema, right? Film bro, misery porn. Jackpot, just a really good time for that, like drug movie. It's really like, look at that technique, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that's how I've seen it every time. This time I've noticed, and at the end, I always remember the end is like the mother suffering and going through the electroshock therapy. What I noticed this time was she spent most of the movie complaining about how she was lonely and had no friends, and the friends that she had weren't the same, but the people that came to visit her are her friends. They came to see her when she was in the hospital, and they were very sad to see her condition. She had friends all along. All she had to do was go outside. Like, she got the call about being on the list, about being on TV, which set her heart aflutter, but because of that, she was hanging out outside with people who cared about her, and she didn't even notice because she was going to be on TV, and she was going to do whatever she needed to do that.
Well, she didn't have purpose anymore, right? Like, I mean, because she lost her husband, her son is now an adult, and now she's just alone.
Right, but she wasn't. What I'm saying is that I think that if she would have just looked around, she would have seen that she's not alone.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, it's one of those things where, like, it almost seems like she didn't think that they would, like, she even said, now they see me, right? Now I go outside and I am somebody, versus before, she didn't feel like anybody because she had lost all of the things that she had defined herself as, right?
Right. Yes. That's how she saw herself. And I think it was the sad part for me now is that she did not see that she was seen
right
by those people and
or
that they did care.
Or was she defined by then? I would argue that she wasn't seen. I would argue that they cared about her, but it was, it
transactional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until she lost it, then it was, let's go visit her. Like with because even at the end, like it wasn't a happy. I mean, obviously, it can't be a happy visit under those circumstances, right? But it almost felt like another transaction of like, oh, well, now this is shifted and this is who she is, right?
I mean, you could, if you wanted to twist it, it could be a happy ending. You could see it as a happy ending. She got it all zapped out.
And she was for sure in the delusion still, right?
I mean, she ends it with a smile.
I know.
Everyone ends with a smile.
I don't know. Something about the mom storyline fucked me up. It was one of those things where you see it and I'm like, I could see myself being that. Like, I think that's the way that the United States works and how we treat old people. Or not even old people. She wasn't even old. Like, as you get older, right? All of a sudden, as soon as you're past menopause for a woman, like, you just have no purpose anymore for whatever reason. And even though we're an empowered society, air quotes, everyone wears vagina hats on their head, I don't think that's gone away at all. In fact, I think it's gotten worse with social media, right? I'm going on a tangent, but there's something about the mom story that was so profound.
Well, that's that's exactly it. It's easier to get erased and lost in the shuffle now. It's easy. We see old people joining TikTok now as a way to remain relevant in their old age, and we make fun of them. But that's like,
which is sad as fuck, right?
But I mean, like, I don't make fun of them. I just see them, and it's just like, I live it out.
Yeah.
Do you, if you're racking it up, but like,
and we look equally as ridiculous. We just have the cheekbones still high. Like, that's the only difference.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, it's through a number of circumstances, quite a few that weren't even his fault. I mean, my father died in a hospital room in Indiana somewhere, and that's how he lived out his life. And he lived like a huge, full life. But once he hit a certain age and a certain mentality, like, there's nothing for him to do, and they just kind of dump him. Your reward is we just dump you in this kind of, it's not really a hospital. We're not going to say you're dying, but you're like,
but you
dying.
Have a room. Did he have a roommate?
He did have a roommate.
Yeah.
They did not get along.
It doesn't seem common.
And, there was a thing where he was like miserable and doing that thing for a while, and then he was like grateful at the end, and like, I think that's what, the man just let it go. But and I have to wonder with the mother at the end, with all that gone, with her smiling now, like, what was better for her?
Right.
Were these people now separated? Now are they better off without each other because they fed into each other's worse impulses?
Or are they both going to fester off in their own directions, right? Is she going to continue going to that guy?
Oh, the Keith David. We're going to take a little second. There's extraordinary performances in this thing, too, and you forget about Marlon Wayans in a rare dramatic mode before him and his brother started really tearing off on movies.
His character's phenomenal.
He's so good. He shows up in dramatic roles later on sometimes. He's in a horror movie coming out soon. And he was on Bel Air, the reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That is shockingly good.
Fantastic.
I won't ruin who he is if you haven't seen it. But he's really good. Jennifer Connelly is really good. Ellen Burstyn is just astounding performance, and definitely one of those things where it's like, hey, guys, Academy, why are you like this?
Even just with her eyes, too. There's the scene where she's in the living room and the fridge is coming towards her.
Jesus, she's good. Yeah. Absolutely.
Horrifying.
Christopher McDonald, of course, as Juice by Tappy. Totally mean thing.
I love that actor, but I hate every single character he plays. There's something about the way he does the and then blah 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 blah, blah like the Happy Gilmore character. I did
it. There were three things that I did. There were three things that I did to be better. He's so good at it.
He's so good at it.
Him and Tom Cruise the year before are just like really good at slime balls.
Yeah.
At that time, we were really into like
with that suit, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that suit.
You'll notice I've been saving one actor. This is the thing that, like, why is Jared Leto taken seriously? Because he did a few of these things. He is so good in this movie, it's stupid.
He's a completely different actor in this movie, I'd argue, right?
He is going...
He's stripped.
He is going for something here. There is something festering and exploding out of him in almost every frame. He's just like a bundle of nervous energy the entire time. It transcends how he looks. He's just so good in it. It's one of those real career-defining performances that has kind of gave him the juice to get away with most of everything else for at least a decade.
Right.
Before people started getting sick of his shtick, and his shtick started getting corny and weird.
Well, and like with this, okay, so he's a piece of shit. I think he's creepy now. I think he's a creep. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
we can disagree on that. That's fine.
No argument here.
But in this movie, in this rare flick of an eye, right? I felt bad for him, even though he was a piece of shit, right? Like, I sympathized with his character, even though his character was an absolute piece of shit, right? So in a rare moment, I sympathized with Jared Leto in this role, which is astounding based on all of the shit talk I give Jared Leto.
That's how you know it's good, when you're like, I hate this man. That was the Tom Cruise effect at the time too, because it's like, we know this man is bad, but please, can you stare a little bit harder before you drop that line? Yeah, right. No, he's just excellent in it. This is just, it's filled with people doing their best work. Again, Clint Mansell. And again, it gave it Darren Aronofsky seems sometimes to be as full of himself as Jared Leto. If he produces this, fine. But that's like, because of this movie, he got away with The Fountain. And then he changed genres completely, made The Wrestler and Black Swan, which is a different kind of movie. Mm-hmm. I love this guy. He takes big swings. And I will always watch movies from the guy who made Requiem for a Dream. Didn't really get into his proto Requiem, Pi. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's hard to describe what that's about, and that's a different episode altogether. But Requiem for a Dream, it's a masterpiece. I can say they don't make movies like that anymore. I would say that, like, Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of those things where creators come along and they kind of redefine cinematic language, and they do it so perfectly that, again, as I said before, it has a reputation with people who have never even thought about watching it. They know what it is from what they hear of it. It's hard for me to recommend it, but it's you should watch it. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, and it transcends. It's 25 goddamn years old, and it feels like it was made yesterday. That's my thoughts on that. That's what a millennial movie. Your final thoughts? Anything you have to add?
I think it's beyond a millennial movie too.
For sure, it's timeless. But
like,
it was,
like you were saying.
But it definitely came at that time where it's like, ooh.
And at the time when we were talking about emptiness and loneliness and sadness and what's purpose, and is there purpose, and is there any meaning to trying, because everything's inevitable.
It was a weird time to come of age, because there was Magnolia, and then this. And so there's like, like the goddamn regret. And then the next one was like, I don't have anybody. And you're like, if you're coming of age, you're like, I have to make choices so I do not end up like this. But there is a sense of like, you can't. It's a weird time to absorb those lessons, because you should also be living as if that will never happen. Mm-hmm. But when you watch things like that, you're like, well, I guess it's
kind of hard not to think about it,
It's very easy to be a nihilist after watching those things. We're just like,
yeah. And thank goodness, fentanyl didn't exist then. We'll just say that.
It would be a completely different film.
Well, it would be a lot shorter.
It would be 10 minutes long.
It would not be a long movie.
Or it would be much longer, because
I shouldn't laugh at that.
They would be test stripping everything.
That's true.
Every time they would buy something, they would test strip it.
I mean, that's probably more accurate.
That would be a plot line.
Yeah.
If Hubert Selby Jr. had written this during the fentanyl era, it probably wouldn't have worked, because it's already like one long run-on sentence anyways. Mm-hmm. Having them to stop and do test strips would probably break the flow. Fentanyl has ruined everything, including our drug movies.
And that's what makes this a millennial movie, is this hasn't been tainted by fentanyl yet.
Yeah. The drugs without fentanyl are now like the landlines of drugs in movies now. And maybe that's why you don't see the only movies about drugs you see now are about fentanyl and opioids, and how the pharmacies and representatives stole people's lives for kickbacks
capitalism.
on their
Capitalism
Vicodin.
ruined addiction.
And what was the other one? What's the other one called?
Wait, which one did you say?
Vicodin and
Oxycodone?
Oxys. That's the one I was looking for.
No, don't look for it.
So it's a time capsule, but its message is timeless, and that's get to livin', or it
Be
will,
safe. Call your mother. Call your mother.
call your mom.
Call your mom now.
Unless there's a really good reason why you don't.
Then yeah. Then don't.
Yeah.
Call somebody who's your mother figure. Call somebody. Call somebody.
Please just call somebody that you love and tell them you love them.
Or call us. Or leave us a review.
Call
We'd love
us.
that.
Tell us that you love us. We're here for you. If no one else is,
Yeah.
we're here for you. And that's what's important. We are,
We're not on diet pills. So.
well, I mean, there's so many stories in our personal experiences with this where it's like, I can tell you that watching this, no matter like, do I drink too much coffee? Maybe I don't need to be doing that. The way that they're like, maybe I don't need to be on uppers.
Yeah.
I can just chill.
That is something I felt when she was doing the teeth grinding. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I also, if they would have just all smoked weed the whole time, also a much shorter movie.
Yeah.
Hey man, you want to go on this like really dangerous run for these drugs? Absolutely not, dude. Absolutely. I would like to stay here or maybe go to the beach.
Well, and
It's
also
fun.
like, oh, there's none on the street. Oh.
Sure.
Sure.
I guess.
I guess we'll wait. That sucks.
We called everybody. All right.
I guess I don't know, sleep.
Womp womp. Wow wow. Wow wow.
Except it's in like C major.
I want to tell you, in practice for this, I was listening to the soundtrack as I walked into the store.
Why?
It's just very funny. So like I'm just like picking up blueberries for my heavy cream smoothie, and it's like wow 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 wow. It's great. It's so funny to revisit, and I used to listen to that soundtrack all the time. It's funny to revisit it in the most mundane moments. That's it. That's it for me. Requiem for a Dream. One of the greatest films ever made that I cannot recommend or recommend enough. You?
Just cover your eyes whenever any of the main stuff comes up, or whenever the weird orgy thing comes up and you don't want to watch sadness happen in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Or whenever the mom gets too zonked out.
Just
You
cover your
eyes,
yeah.
and it's fine. And you can just be like, yeah, I'm watching.
Make it an audiobook.
Yeah.
You can do that. It's
Yeah.
it's still the experience.
Be a
I can
little
tell
bitch
you.
like me. It's great. It's a great movie experience.
It's still the music says everything you need
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Phenomenal.
Oh, nice. Listen, listen, I want to be very serious with you right now.
Wow.
Oh, it's just good. It's just good, wholesome family fun.
Yeah.
Dead-eyed millennial.
Film club.
It's wee. Bye.
Hey, Ma. You want uppers?